Hi everyone, this is Big Mama, and I just finished the Dear Julie May Mystery Mayhem Junk Journal Challenge. I have the paper. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you my journal that I just finally got finished this month and all of the elements that were required to get her done. Her plan was to give us 31 elements that we could make. We didn't have to make all 31. We could make she narrowed it down that we could, just a second, I think it was 26. And then 12 of them, 25, sorry. And then 12 of them needed to have the Dear Julie digital in it. And so the digital I chose was Antique Daisy. And so some of the ephemera that was in it were these beautiful cards that I really enjoyed making the journal with. And this is my journal. Her name is Daisy's Daydream. And the reason why I named her that is I used this Readers Digest Condensed book. And I made put the picture on the front and glued it down. And then I embossed over it. And can you see those stars? Those were actually on the cover of the book. They came through. So I thought, well, she's dreaming, right? Daydream, stars. And so I embraced that mistake as if I intended to do it. I'm doing terrible with this, but I don't edit, so please forgive me on all of that. On here, on the challenge, we had where we drew a Mayhem item, and we could choose one or more items, and because this is the first time I've done a Mayhem, I chose one item for each one. And so my cover was to use paste or medium. So I used this embossing paste. Well, it's not embossing, it's that thick paste that you put on and it dries. And so I did that, and then I put metallic over it. I did the edge with several different colors of metallic paint, and then on the back I used the stencil that I used with the texture paste and just went over it with the gold and painted underneath. I had already take it that's all of my words just being rolled together, and if there's any of them you like, you just go feel free to use them. I put on the cover first, before I put on the texture paste, the ink. And I used a distressed oxide because I wanted to spritz it with water and get it to do some marbling and things like that. And so the back here, the color that I really liked was that mulberry color. It just turned out really, really wonderful. And so I used all of those oxide inks. And so then we were to make a tassel. And the Mayhem that I drew for making my fancy tassel was for me to use flowers. And so that's where I used flower in the lace, and I also have some metal flowers in here for my tassel. And then I put a hole there and a bulb pin hooked it onto the edge of that. And then my needed to do a fancy closure, and the Mayhem that I drew on that one was dyed paper. I'm like, oh my gosh, how am I going to close it with paper? And so what I did was I made these paper ribbons, and this is using paper that is dyed with cabbage, and this is yellow onion skin paper. And so then when I put these on the ribbon and put the beads in between, you can see that the beads have flowers in them to kind of tie in all of the flower theme. And then it was supposed to have a fancy closure, and so I went in my broken jewelry, and I had this flower pin that was white. So I put it on using this brad, and then use the metallic paints that they dry enamel paint. and so they'll stay on, and use the blues and the greens and gold to kind of give that effect to it. And then the back, the way I secured it is using these and bringing the ribbon through. All right, so now let's move on inside little Daisy here. So I'm going to tell you all my mistakes that I made as I went. I used this little pokey tool that I got. I won this from Julie, and I'm like, oh, I'll use the pokey tool to poke through the cover. And so I'm thinking that it's like all of my other pokey tools, and this not that sharp, and so I just gave it a good solid punch. It's sharp. That good solid punch put it through quite a few pages instead of just the cover. So if you notice that there's a little bit of patchwork on the inside, it is because Julie did it. It's her fault. So here we go. As I opened it, I really loved the, open up, let me in. Okay, so I loved the paper that was in here, and so I just took sandpaper and roughed it up and left this original page inserts in here. And then hole number 1. So that's where the brag came through, and so I just covered it with a little sticker here, and then this was part of the digital, and so I made a collage here like I planned that. And then hole number 2. I put a little sticker here, and I had some remnants of some lace, and so I roughed up that lace and stuck it on there. So now here we go with another one. I put a couple of pockets here, and this is using a sack, and I may not remember what all of the elements are in here, and so I want you to know that I did complete 26 elements, and I got all the pictures done and sent, so I am like checked off, got that all done, just need to make the video. So if I don't remember them now, I remembered them then, and hopefully I'll cover through here. I had purchased a kit that had all of these beautiful pictures, and so I made this for a journaling card, and because when I punched the corners, I have 3 really, really good ones. I had one really, really bad wonky one, so I put the material over here over my mistake, because junk journalers do not throw things away. And then I put the plain card here so that you can write on the back, and have a beautiful quote there. It says, beauty of form. And I thought that was perfect to start out this journal, because it's all about April showers bring May flowers. So beauty of form affects the mind, but then it must not be mere shell that we admire, but the thought that this shell is only the beautiful case adjusted to the shape and the value of a still more beautiful pearl inside. The perfection of outward loveliness is the soul shining through its crystalline cover, and that's Jane Porter. I don't know Jane personally, but boy, she did some good thinking and wrote it down. So, hole punch here. So, some places to journal here. This is one of the maybe I should have just not done this. I mean, they're flipping things, so you got to flip them. I used washi tape here. Oh, Bonnie, I need you right now. I sent her all the pictures, and she would have the full list. I have the list here. I just don't know what this one in. Anyway, I used the washi on it, and they have little tags in it, and you can write on them. And, you know, if you want to go ahead and go to a different video now, I'm okay with that. The washi tape. Washi tape was supposed to have stamps on it, and I'm like, oh my goodness, how am I going to do that? So I used sheet music, put some stamps on it, and then put my flower stamps on it for the daisies. So that's what I did there. I embossed a little flower up on the corner. And this is my fabric pocket. And so I've got 2 spots there, a place for you to journal over here, and then another. I've got a lot of journaling space because you can see it's a Reader Digest and lots of journaling space. And if you'll notice on the edge here that I've got like these pieces of washi tape. Well, what I did was you can take on this, this was a 1955 Reader's Digest. And so I took on a lot of the pages and just put masking tape down and then pulled it up. And when you pull it up, it's got all of the letters here for the words off of the page. And so I saved them and then used them throughout the journal. And great patchwork. I also want to show you this daisy. You know who you are. I'm just saying. I received 2 Sandy Moore from Sandy Moore, and it says, Big Mama, it's not much, but I hope it helps. I had put in the chat for Dear Julie that I had very few daisy items, and I ended up with a lot of daisy items. This is the one I have left because I put them all in the book. Whoever you are, mystery, happy mail, it messes with my mind because I want to send you something back. I want to send you a thank you. And so this is the best I can do. Thank you so much. Your generosity was greatly appreciated. I could have never patched this page as perfectly without you. So thank you. You knew I'd make a mistake and need you to come rescue me. So I also had printed on some of the labels for address labels that are the clear address labels, and I had a page that had a whole bunch of old advertisement on it that I'd gotten from Susan Taylor Brown. So I copied that on to the labels, and when I copied it on to those labels, some of them were in seams and a lot of them had come aparts, and so I still used them. They worked out fine. This is my double pocket, and so I just put an envelope here of some vintage stationery in there, and it has paper inside so that you can do a legacy letter in there. And here's another one, and papers inside so you can sit those to the side. And then I put a little pocket here just because I could, and made another one of those to where you can just fold it down and write a special quote or a dear memory that you want to put in there, and then you have that in your little pocket. All right, and some more journaling space. And then here is my waterfall. And I put gathered material here, and so I've got the waterfall going along, but it was supposed to have a mystery, so my waterfall had a pocket, and so there's a journaling card for that. And I wish they had this all memorized for you, and then I would just look over here, waterfall. There you go. So anyway, it was supposed to have an index card. That's my index card. Some stationery I had, and over the whole, thank you, mystery friend. I put your little sticker. I have one over here too, so that I have the daisies on this page. And then I had this out of one of the books, flower book. And made this tag, and it needed to have a number on it, and so I had a ceramic number, and boy, that was too bulky, and I found this, and I think that was a page from Artie May, and so I took Artie May's and put some glossy accent on it, and then just made a little pocket down here, and we were supposed to make a ruffle, and so did that, inked it up, gold thread on it. And then up over here on this page. Got another one of those stickers. And now we're not needing as many of the patches for the holes that I created. This is what I was wanting to show you. I just pulled the letters off of the page and left the paper here so it can be written on, and then stenciled over it. And so I did this throughout the book where you can see the stenciling that is done. This was a quote on a calendar that I had that I thought went perfect with the spring theme, and the colors that I have throughout the book are the pinks and blues and yellows and cream, and so I put that scrap there. And then this is another, okay, that's the last time I'm going to try to remember the element looking over here at the paper because I'll get it all wrong. So anyway, I've got a tab on it, and it flips out. So that's probably what it was supposed to be called, a flip out. And I embossed this, and it also was to have a mystery, and so it has a pocket. And this was from Spectrum Art, and Maddie with Spectrum Art, and so I took her little postcard and did the corners, but then she's got, like, their logo was here, and so I just put some washi tape over it to bring in that. And then down here at the bottom it said Spectrum Art Design and all of the logo and stuff. And so what I did is just put washi over it to where you can still see it coming through, but it adds a little bit more of the balance that I was looking for. And I had some newspaper print paper, and so I just dyed on it. These are some more of the stickers that my mystery friend sent me. Thank you, thank you. And put some more of my washi from pulling the letters off of the page. This, when I originally took the photos of it, I had done playing cards, and the playing cards were kind of heavy here at the bottom and just kept slipping out. And so from a freebie online, I can't remember who, because when I print them and put them, I cut them apart and put them over to use them, then I forget who they're from. And I've had these for a couple of years now, and so I just slid those up behind. I lined this with some plastic, and then that goes up underneath. It's for you to use for journaling space. And this is one of the pages for her digital, and I didn't want to lose the beauty of the picture, so I put some of the pressed flowers that my mystery friend had sent me in between two pieces of vinyl, and then sewed them with washi around so that secured it. And then this was part of the digital too, the Daisy digital, and so I put that on here. This is another one of the stickers that she sent me. And then on the back I have a Big Chief notebook, and so I stenciled on that with ink. This is called Broken China, the Distress Oxide, and so I stenciled on there with that. The Big Chief notebooks that I have are very old and brittle, so it's very good to back them on something. Some more just college notebook paper that I distressed. And then this is a flip up, flip down. So there's the up, there's the down, and then Susan Taylor Brown, this is some of her digitals. And then I had some decoupage paper that had the flowers on it, and so I've used that throughout. Keep my daisies going. She's a dreamin'. And then stenciled, a lot of my pages are going to have that same stencil throughout it to make it cohesive. And I have pulled the letters off of the pages, or I guess words off the pages. And then just to create interest, instead of gluing this down, I just made it where you can still write on here, write on the page. And it takes ink really well. Pencil also. And Patty. Oh, can't think of Patty's last name. Sacred Mementos. Anyway, this was one of the things that I had gotten from her. When she did a fundraiser for the Ukraine, I had bought a couple of packets, and so she had done some really cool things to the front, and so I broke this down and made it to where I could use it in here, and then on the back made a journaling space for that. And again, this is some more of that decoupage paper, and I used washi just to hold the, I think they call those cigarette cards. I'm not endorsing smoking, but I'll endorse those cards. Some more journaling space, and I have always getting these little notebooks, the long thin ones, when you donate money to things. And so I had this one, and the flowers worked really well, and so I did the washi. And I got this at one of the sales. This is my top tuck. This is the top tuck that went wrong. What I did was, this was at a Granny's catalog advertisement here. I thought, oh, that's just wonderful. And so my top tuck was supposed to have a mystery. And my mystery was going to be a concertina type of fold. Well, it didn't work for me. Those of you who are far more intelligent, it probably does. You're supposed to be able to pull these strings, and it's supposed to bunch up. And I pulled those strings, and everything went wrong. So I do have a journaling spot here, which is totally awesome. And it does fold up really, really nice. I use a paper clip only because I want to give it a chance to stay up. And so there's a plain paper clip, which was hard for me to do, just plain something. And then here is a card, the index card, and it's a Julie's Digital. If you're counting, I'm going to get to that 12 of Julie's Digitals. So this was in a greeting card insert, and so I ripped that out because I thought it was really pretty to go in here. And some more writing space. This is a napkin. And oh, I had wanted to make this one real thick, so this is twice as thick as the others because this is bulky, and I want to be able to still write without this being so lumpy, and get rid of some of those pages because I had so many going on. All right, so this is my fabric fold. So, and no, the other one was the fabric. This is my lace pocket. Or the other one's the lace pocket, and this is the fabric fold. But I think that this is the lace pocket because this has got the lace. Anyway, there's with the mystery. Nearer home, an aged Christian with snow of time on his head may remind us that those points of earth are whitest, which are nearest heaven. Chapin. So I got a pocket there. And then this flips up, and I got a spot here, and I was supposed to use a playing card, so maybe if I found my playing card one, I'd know which one for sure it was. Oh well, moving right along. Some stickers on here to create interest, and this space just cried for another quote, and then I've got a journaling spot here. You are all so patient with me, and I'm already going to 24 minutes. My belly band was to have a mystery, so it is a layered belly band, and instead of gluing this down, I made it to where it's a pocket. So that was mystery. And then this, I used a letter that it opens up, and there's a pocket space there. And I love this picture that was in the Reader's Digest, so I left her there because I thought she was Budamus. So my favorite page layout are these two. I just think that turned out really good together. So ooh and ah with me. Moving on. Put a little corner tuck here. This is my hidden journaling card that comes open, and a spot to journal in the back. And then on this page, I just put one of the clusters on the corner and made a little itty bitty pocket. This was a scrap of paper. I folded it in half and did the fancy things on each one of the corners, put one of those quotes off of my calendar, and then it can flip open and you can write in it. And so that goes in there. Some more napkin. And that's one of those cool stickers. And what I did here is, this was a scrap off of the page, and so I just made it to where it folds out because I wanted to keep the numbers on both sides. And so when I trimmed that off, I was losing my numbers. I didn't want to lose them. And then this is my collage, to which I discovered today that this might actually be more like a masterboard than a collage, but I just grabbed all my papers and was collaging away. And so today Julie did a collage, and oh, mine might be wrong. So anyway, this is a collage on steroids. There we go. And I made a little pocket with a quote and put my little envelopes. Again, they're not glued, so that they just unfold and you can write inside them. Fold that back up. And I was supposed to use map, and so I have an old antique atlas from the World at War back in the 1938, and so it's real crumbly, but I've got plenty of pretty colors from it. And so the way I addressed this was I took and made a little piece for the stamp, and then on the bottom of the map took this information, and so added the map on this side, and then made my little stamp up there on the top to make them look realistic. So that's me mapping out. And the little tag here, I thought where it said new adventure would be perfect with a map. And another one of those things, my dear friend, who's now my dear friend because she sent me happy mail. If you want to be my dear friend, you send me stuff. Do I sound like a 3-year-old now? Okay, give me. I love you if you give me. Okay, and this was, I typed in royalty-free, public domain, daisies, and this picture popped up, and I thought, ooh, I got a lot of pretty things from Julie, but this just seemed to work for me. This is my flip-flop. It's taken me a year to get that one right. And I think I actually did it right, because when you open it, look at it go. Look at that. Okay. And I even have a little pocket right there. And it is to have a mystery. And so it has a pocket in it. And she was on the public domain too. Is she not absolutely gorgeous? And looks like she lives right there. That's her bouquet of flowers. She picked those. I thought that was simply gorgeous together. It makes me nervous when I go on the public domain, because I'm not that intellectually smart when it comes to who's going to sue me for what. So some more papers, And this one, what I did, made it to where it'd flip open. You can still write on here, but just did this for interest to use up those stickers that I made. And dropped the ink pen on this page right there in the middle, and I stickered it. And someone's going to flip through here and go, I'm throwing the whole book in the trash. Look at that sticker right in the middle of that page. Believe it or not, you can just rip this page right out and it'll be gone. But I wasn't about to. Okay, so use some more of the masking tape with words on the edges for a little bit of interest, and put some of my tabs on there. The tab, I pulled sequence rhinestone. That, oh my gosh, that made me crazy. Well, I have a whole bunch of old sequins, and I made them, but oof, that creates some bulk. And then on this page, it was for this pocket here, I was supposed to have metal, and so I used the metal flake because last month I got a little bit addicted and I was having flashbacks from that, I guess. And so got a whole lot of metal on there, and metal on my little card here. This is a digital that I got from Susan Taylor Brown. And same digital. More of the pages. And these was a double tuck. And this was using the guest check. Why do one when two is better? And then over here, I've got where you can write in here. Some more stationery. This was my large paper clip, and so you can slide things up underneath there. And it was supposed to have a dangle on the, oh my goodness, paper clip anyway is supposed to have something, bead dangle or something on it. So there it is. Some more of the pretty pages to write on. And then we were supposed to make an embellishment that you've never made before. Well, when I was looking at how to do this book, I came across Natasha with Treasure Books, and she was showing a few years back on how to change these and take a page, tear one out, have a page, glue those two together, and start taking out of your book. And so she took, oh, it's not Natasha, sorry. Natasha, you do beautiful work, but this is Sherri Spear. And, this lady, Sherri, she said, make your box at the back first. And so she said, take your pages, glue them together, and then cut out a hole in them. And so that's what I did. You can see that there's a large section here that they're all glued together. And then this top, I have a Velcro pin and made a little box. And so then this little box is holding my favorite embellishment. Nope, this is the perfect embellishment for your journal because I need something for the box. So this is Julie's Digital, and it's originally like this, and I grunched it up and everything for it to match the colors here. And so then I was supposed to use words, napkin, stuff like that. And so that's what I have words, and this is a napkin. And so made a little book using my scraps. And that goes in there. And then this did tie. I took the tie off when I saw how it was going to be cumbersome with the rest of it. Put some napkin there. And then we still have some journaling pages here. This is the back of the box where I just stamped it and signed it here. And then I have some rub-on stickers on these pages, or this page. And then that is the end of my book. Okay, and so she did get a little bit of a gator mouth, but when you tie her clothes, she looks a little bit normal, you know, like Big Mama normal, not like runway model normal. And so I hope that you enjoyed it. I am sorry that I have taken you now 35 minutes, but I know that it would have been like a 10-minute video if I would practice and have everything all laid out, but then I would probably do 10 or 11 of them, and it would have taken up all of my afternoon, where you guys only have to suffer through 35 minutes. So I hope that this was fun for you. I absolutely love making the journals. It's my heart to be able to, I know I've said it before, make these journals. What makes these pages pretty are the words that someone is going to write on it. I want always to make them complete as much as possible so that they can just sit down and start writing. There are a lot of people who don't craft, but they've got words in their heart that are just overflowing that they want to tell their family. And that's what these journals are all about to me. If you're interested, get a hold of me somehow. I'm not on Facebook. You don't know my email address. But you put it in the comment, I'll find you. I'll ferret it out somehow. And you can get a hold of Bonnie and say, Bonnie, I want to buy that journal. And she's going to let me know. So, and you guys who are total strangers to this that are just watching, I hope that I brought you a little bit of inspiration. Yeah, that's the it's inspiration on building a journal yourself, because you've got a story too. And there's nothing better than having your own personal journal that you made, because then your heart shows through all the pages, the art and the words. So get busy and get some writing going on. You got pockets in these journals that you can just write it on a piece of toilet paper and stuff in there. Who knows? We may have another pandemic and that toilet paper will come in handy. Love you guys. Bye-bye.